Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Andrew, and this is the gameplay for FTL Kestrel Adventures. This is actually what happened. Well, basically what happened. You're gonna see in the show what happened in the game, and right away, one of the first things I did was change our three starting characters to Jose, Ricardo, and Pavlo. Now, Pavlo was a name that I thought I made up that seemed sci-fi-ish. Apparently it is a real Italian name, so good on us, I guess. And before we even had a game to map the story from, there was a test animation with just Jose and Ricardo. It's on the YouTube channel where Ricardo jumps out, grabs a box. Back then, I was actually voicing both parts, and immediately I didn't like that. You could tell it was just the same person, maybe a slightly different twang on it. I'm not sure, but right then I knew we need more people. And really, we were just beginning voice acting, so nobody was actually any good at it, especially me. So it was apparent we needed more actors. And so, that was maybe a year and a half ago when that first test animation was done. And then time passed, things got busy, and then we got around to making the show, and the first step was making this gameplay. We actually did the gameplay first, I think, before finishing the first episode, which actually doesn't have any gameplay in it. It's all kind of prologue to the opening screen when it says, hey, you found this Federation intelligence, blah 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 blah. But that was definitely, we needed a good gameplay, something that we liked, something we felt had potential to fuel the rest of the animation, because if the gameplay part didn't work, if the story didn't work, then we weren't going to have the heart to push through. And I think this gameplay really paid out. If you've seen the first sector, which, by the way, spoiler, don't really watch this video if you haven't seen the first sector, the first 5 episodes. Because, yeah, a little bit of spoilers. We get a lot of crew members in this first sector. We get 7, I believe. The max we can have is 8, and we're 1 minus that. And there weren't actually other gameplays recorded before this, but this was the one that actually led to the end, basically. Spoiler alert on that, but you know, we're gonna go through the series. But I really liked getting all these crew members in the first sector, because in other gameplays it was just Jose, Pablo, and Ricardo for a long time, and they were just gonna run out of things to talk about really quickly without other people. But we got a full crew now, almost a full crew, so there's a lot to discuss. Oh, and this is the Nebula sector. We're fighting this pirate, where later on we get Sambo, who's voiced by my brother. Oh, by the way, I'm Jose and Pablo. Ricardo is best friend Caesar. And later on he voices Cremity, who we get on the exit beacon for this sector. Sambo's voiced by my brother. Manon is my other brother. And also I voice Charlie. Which, going back to the beginning when I was saying I was voicing more than one character, if I could really alter my voice enough, like Pablo, where it's grunty, and Charlie, where there's a lot of computer things going on to make the voice that way, then I was more comfortable with voicing different people, because it's just so weird hearing yourself talk to yourself. Let's see if we got oh, here we are. We're getting Manon. This is fun. There's the bit where Jose's trying to talk to the horse, and there's a beat of silence, and the horse kind of goes, and then Jose goes, That was actually never in the script. Me and Caesar and I, we were recording it, and we had, I think, the microphone set to record on both sides. The microphone we're using, by the way, is the Audio Technica 2050. If you've seen the Rooster Teeth podcast, that's the microphone they were using for a long time. Now they've got a different one, though. It's kind of squarish. But basically, I took their recommendation on that. But that beat of silence, and then Jose going, kind of came from just us doing the scene together. A lot of the times, the voices are just recorded at different moments. We try to use the same microphone to record everything, and one person will be reading their lines for the other person's feedback. But when the scene's put together, both parts are collected from different takes, basically. Asteroid fields, very dangerous. Ricardo fixed the O2 with duct tape. So one question I get a lot is, why are we using an older version of FTL? This is pre-advanced edition. And the simple thing was, we wanted to use a lot of the test animation for the beginning of the first episode, because it was done, basically. And when it came time to record a gameplay, the tan and black haired pixel models for the humans were gone. We now had three. We had kind of a white guy, a beige guy, and a black guy, and same thing for the females, but we lost the kind of tannish orangey skin, which I liked. You know, it's kind of Simpsons, where you see a yellow person with like straight up Crayola yellow skin, and you go, it's appealing, I guess. It's distinguished. And for a while I was looking around for mods that restored the old pixel textures, but nothing ever came up. So I found an old version of FTL on one of our computers, and swapping some files around, managed to record a gameplay with that, and that's how it went. But as far as other gameplays go, there were some interesting other alternate realities that basically got thrown out. There was Jose. They were in a fight, in a spaceship fight, and everyone was kind of arguing, and I think it was just Jose, Pavlo, and Ricardo at the time still. And Jose and Pavlo had been arguing, and Jose's cockpit got hit, and he decided, screw this, I'm going to go heal myself up, and he left the station to go to the med bay. And with that, the evasiveness of the ship dropped. The ship got hit, and Pavlo got hurt. And so now it's like Jose's, I don't know, arrogance, something like that. Basically, because he left the station, Pavlo got hit, and that led to a whole thing. There was also another gameplay where Ricardo wanted to be, they were going to build a boarding party that basically Pavlo was organizing, and Ricardo had helped beat back boarders before. And Pavlo's like, hey, you're pretty good in a fist fight. You'd be pretty good on a boarding team. And Jose objected to that, sending his brother out. But Ricardo was kind of interested in the idea. So, time came for the first fight. It was Ricardo and Rockman we had at the time. They went on board, and they got slaughtered immediately. And it was like, ooh, that didn't turn out well. And create drama, but in the end, the gameplay didn't lend itself to a success. And well, that was just a different universe. Now we have the gameplay we have now. It is interesting, though, these other takes. Here we are, this drone station. In the game, in the show, we quickly... That's just a ship buzzing by that station. And it looks like we're going to end the first sector right now. Here we are getting Cremity. Yeah, take it. We got Cremity now. Alright, so this ends the first sector. This is the gameplay that happened. And I'll probably do another one of these videos at the end of Sector 2, which might be another 5 episodes. So, expect that, I guess. Alright, we're gonna jump, and see you next time. Expect the next episode, hopefully next week. Bye.